Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for waiting. We'll be starting in around just 3 more minutes, just waiting for more people to come in into the consumer webinar. Thanks for your patience. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another session of our consumer webinar titled What is Your Next Step? Well, in the eye of inflation, interest rates, and recession, what should you do in the property market? Tonight, we are so lucky to have our Executive Director, Mr. Kelvin Fong, to share with us his analysis of the property market and more importantly, to help you out there, whether you are a first timer or an upgrader, to figure out what should your next step be. So without further ado, let's welcome and Mr. Kelvin Fong. I will just hand over to you. I think you're muted, Kelvin.
Oh, okay. Yes, good. Thank you so much. Fast, let me, suddenly press to the download button. Oops. Let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give me a second while I set up all the necessary screen, because once we set up everything, we must go back to the original screen. All right, hi, good evening to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that every one of you already have your dinner. If not, please get something for a bite, because I'm going to spend another 1 hour plus or so to be with me. So definitely it's good to have something with you so that you can enjoy listening to me while you are also having some understanding about the market also. So of course, I think tonight these seminars can only be successful, and many people have certain takeaway as long as all of us can what? Oh, can you hear me? All right, let me see. It should be quite loud. All right. So can you hear me, everybody? Can hear, right, everyone? Okay, so for those people, right, please help me if you can hear me very clearly, right? Just type in the chat group, say yes, so that I can actually know that you are okay with that, so that I can proceed further. All right, thank you so much for those people who have responded to me. Of course, to all of you here later on, right, some of the things that I really need every one of you to actually participate with me. Very important, because learning is actually two ways. If you just listen to me, you will get tired, and most important, at the end of the day, after the session, you can have some takeaway by actually replying to what I'm going to ask you. So this is something that how we can actually learn hand in hand together, right? So without much further ado, I think everybody has a lot of concern. How many of you feel that interest rate, recession, these are the things that are stopping you from purchasing property? If the answer is yes, can you type a 1 inside the chat group or not? Can I see? Is this a problem to you or not? Wow, so many a problem, huh? Well, I guess this is a very common thing, because a lot of people are concerned about interest rate here and there, right? So the question is, everybody hear this word called interest rate, but actually how many people dive in to understand about interest rate? And the question is, why is there an increase in interest rate when the market is not even stabilized? So what are the questions? What are the things that happen? So today I'm going to focus and I'm going to share with you in detail, right, how all these things can be also advantage to all of us here. Of course, a lot of people will think, no, it cannot be, because interest rate, the cost of purchase has gone up, interest rate is high, so we have to pay more. So the question is, why should I do it now? So these are some of the concern here. So today I just wanted to cover as much as I can. Of course, there are so many things that I need to cover, cannot be covering everything, but as much as I want to really to share with you about this very important thing. Of course, just a disclaimer for myself, everything that I shared here, right, of course, there are many things that probably, of course, is there any risk? Definitely, everything got risk one. Most important, right, is to understand and do your financial planning. I'm quite sure that my agents out there can actually work out the financial, because we have a system called Risk Assessment Management System, our RAM. So which can actually assist all those customers out there to work out every single detail until the dollar and cent, and that will make you feel very at ease. Because I myself bought property, I think the last thing that I want here is to over purchase or probably overpaying or whatever in terms of the numbers. So that's why you can get all our agents to help you in that sense. So what are we going to cover today? Talk about interest rate. Look at the topic here. So will property price continue to increase despite all these current measures here and there? So why prices also continue to increase despite all the challenges? So of course, there's another thing, the gap between the resale market and new launch. So the question is, which is a better option? Of course, last part is, how do we determine the entry price for a property? Whatever I share with you here can actually be adopted, right, in different things. So tonight, all this will be what we are going to cover as much as I can. I try to finish as early as possible so that you guys can have a good rest after the night, right? So you look at the market, the condo resale market has continued to rise for the 22nd straight months in May. Why is the market rising so fast despite cooling measure interest rate? Why the market is still resilient in the sense? Something must be questioning. And you look at our HDB flat, Yishun has also crossed $1 million. Wow, I think not a joke, even HDB are moving so fast, right? You look at our Marine Parade 51 years lease balance, people are still paying $1 million. What is happening, right? Despite all the interest rate, despite talking about possible recession, why people are still willing to pay a HDB $1 million? But if you look at this $1 million thing, actually it's quite scary. Why do I say scary? If today you are 35 years old, and we witnessed this $1 million. So I'm not so sure when you reach 65 years old, how much do we need to pay for this HDB flat? This is a question mark that people will be thinking. So why am I telling all of you this? I'm sharing with you this is because I want you to understand one thing. If we do not plan ahead, when you reach 65, which most of us will retire within that range or maybe slow down our pace in terms of working, right? Can you imagine if we don't have a good enough saving or good property amount, right? Can we retire happily? Just like this person maybe is a downgrader from a landed property or a private property, so they were willing to pay $1 million for Marine Parade. I guess they are probably staying in the east side, right? So they can downgrade to a $1 million because they have 5 million. With them, they downgrade to a 1 million, they still have 4 million to retire. So this is possible. So this is something that I'm going to share with you later on, right? How do you actually build this capital, and why is it so important, right, for you guys to build this capital? Because why? It's for the sake of everyone, and that is also something that I'm very passionate about, is to share with you all this. How can you build your capital in the long run through real estate, right? So this is something. So if you look at this chart, it tells you HDB market and the private property market continue to what? Rise upward despite all these challenges in terms of numbers. Wow, you can see how it moves. Despite all the different things happening, why the market is still moving, right? So the question is it the right time? How many of you feel that it's the right time? Can you type yes, or you think there's no one? Type inside the chat group. Yes or no? Can you type yes? Alvin say thank you so much. Yes. Right. No. Don't know. John Lee say yes, right time. I know those people who say yes, sure, definitely is the agent who say yes. Those who say no will be definitely the customers. I hope so, right? So of course, whether is it the right time or not, whether is it the best time or not, please do not speculate. I think most important, that's the reason why I would like to share with you exactly, right, how to look at all these little details so that you can make a better decision at the end of the day, whether do you want to go or you do not want to go ahead in terms of your purchase, because this is something that is important for all of us here. That's why I want to share with you in details. So of course, you look at today's market, there's ABSD lah, interest rate lah, war lah, COVID is still running lah. This fat guy is still talking about interest rate going up some more lah. The question is, how many of you will buy today one? I do not know. A lot of people will definitely look at this. It's a no answer one. It's a no answer, right? But of course, there will also be people who buy during all these things, right? People, definitely, most of the people when hear about interest rate, straight away their mind say, wow, better wait for the market to drop. So a lot of all these things will happen. Well, all these things to me is called the noises in the market. So of course, if there's no noises, then what's going to happen next, right? So that's why I always learn from this guy. He said, when people scared, you better take action. When people start to buy, what must you do? Because again, last year, you see the market was so hot, right? Everybody rushing because what? Interest rate was all-time low. But what happened? Of course, the price went up. So can you imagine, can you all imagine that if there's no cooling measure, there's no all this so-called interest rate here and there, wow, I cannot imagine how the prices will react today. Just how you see, now today with cooling measure, with all these things, the prices are still moving. Why? Right? Why? That's why every crisis, to me, right, there is always an opportunity for all of us to look into it. So the question here is that's why I'm very thankful to all of you for spending your time with me, because at least you are willing to actually listen to what I'm going to share with you, rather than you say no to yourself. It's easy to say no. It's easy to say no. That's why I always feel that it's important to understand and important to what? To learn, which I think that is a critical part, and that's the most important part that all of us should look at. So interest rate are increasing, recession may come to, should we wait, right? So these are the question mark that people are looking at. So like this is something that I saw UOB says that interest rate is going to reach 3.08%, right? Previous high was 2.8. So when we saw all this, when we saw this kind of news, almost like every day we hear talk about interest rate, right? Is it very normal? So I always like to ask this question: is it first time Singapore face an interest rate increase? Is it the first time that Singapore faced so-called maybe possible recession? Of course, our Prime Minister Lee said recently that recession is very unlikely for Singapore. So the question is, why is everybody talking about this interest rate? So the question is, when interest rate go up, a lot of people like to say what? Oh, wow, interest rate has gone up so much. But when the interest rate was 0.5%, nobody complained on. But if you look at 0.5% versus 3.8%, even you take an average, I mean, to me, it's always something that we must always be fair, right? Sometimes interest rate will go up, sometimes interest rate will come down also, right? So when it come down that time, you will be very happy as well, right? Because you get a very good low interest rate, right? But sometimes when the interest rate go up, it's just like an averaging, right? But let's all understand the reason first. Why actually interest rate increase? If you look at it, you see interest rate go down, go up, go down, go up, right? Is it normal? It's very normal, right? It was up and down. It's not the first time that we are talking about interest rate going up or down. So the question is, why is Fed increasing interest rate? Anybody can type inside the chat group and tell me why Fed increase interest rate now? Why? Why? Inflation. Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you, Kat Yong, right? To stop inflation. Yes, exactly. The only way to stop people from spending, right, is to increase the interest rate. Why? So that because of the oil prices going up, the transportation go up, and property is one of the main thing, because why? A lot of raw material, steel, metal, everything, sands, and you need to transport over. All these are called what? The spending. And there's so much demand of people wanted to buy. So when there's a huge demand and they cannot actually meet the demand, so the only way to do so is to what? Stop you from buying, right? So does it mean that interest rate will actually last forever? Interest rate cannot be going up all the way one. You know why? I mean, I just want to let everybody understand one thing. That's why you can see interest rate go up, go down, go up, go down, go up, right? But you must also understand one thing. Why is it interest rate eventually cannot go up all the way? Because interest rate cannot go up all the way is because of what purpose? Because a lot of business borrow money from where? The bank. When they borrow money from the bank to run the business. So if the interest rate keep going up, economy will come down and unemployment will always shoot up. So can this allow it for long term? Personally, I feel that it will not last forever one. That's why you can see from the past history, interest go up, came down, flat, up, flat, down. As long as the inflation don't go up as high, the interest rate will stay as a norm for everybody can accept, right? That's why you can see in 2016 and 17, people talk about interest rate, right? In 2018, interest rate was 2.88%, right? People also do. So at the end of the day, you look at it, prices went up. Now, interest rate is also something very interesting. You look at interest rate drop. When interest rate drop, what happened? Everybody will start to say what? Oh, Kelvin, wow, interest, put money inside the bank, right? It's actually waste of time. Interest rate at that point is only like 0.2%, 0.65% for a fix for 1 year. People say, what, Kelvin, I cannot buy property, cannot put money in the bank one. We should put money where? Assets. That's why you see when the interest rate came down, what happened? Volume of buyers come in. Because why? They put money in the bank, it's called waste time. So everybody rush into what? To buy property. And what happened? Yeah, that's why you see prices went up. When you see interest rate came down, the next reaction for people is what? Come in and buy. But a lot of people say interest rate increase, people say what? Hey, better don't buy. So the question is, why people choose to buy when during uncertainty? Very simple, because a lot of people don't buy. But a lot of people choose to buy what? When people are rushing in. But you see, if those people who bought here, actually, do you know that they already start selling here? Is that? So that's why in every circumstances, every recession, there is always people who make money. That's why you look at the past, even the COVID situation. Can you imagine any one of you here, right? Those who have purchased property during COVID. Today, I can tell you are already sitting on a profit margin already. But a lot of time people say COVID cannot buy because why? Prices will come down. But you look at today's market, the prices did not come down and increase. And what happened? They sell off with a high profit to the people who buy over today. Because why? There is not enough what? Supply. So when there's not enough supply, demand goes up, price goes up. That's why you see that the resale market is moving upwards. despite all the challenges. And if you look at it, can you imagine this interest rate at 2016 and 17, when you buy here, you have actually profited how much from here? But most people will only look at interest rate. The mindset is what? Immediately say, no, 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 better don't buy. But I just want to tell every one of you here, right? Do not just let the words actually affect you. We must always do numbers calculation. As I mentioned, interest rate cannot last forever, right? This is the time that I think you should open your eyes to see things. Because why? Same thing. Example, developer who has many properties on hand, they will start to be more careful when it comes to what? Whether to raise the price, whether to set higher price margin or not. All these things will be in their mind. But of course, why the resale property owners out there are not lowering down their price? Later, I will explain to you in detail, right? So if you look at this, 2016 and 17, those who bought property during that point of time, you look at the profit they make. 2017, the interest rate was high, right? Interest rate was high. You look at seaside residences, those who bought in 2018, where interest rate was 2.88%, did people actually make profit out of it? You look at this, all make profit. So the question is, why people make profit during this period? Very simple, just now I say, when the interest rate, people are not buying, right? People went to buy. So when the interest rate came down, when the interest rate came down, when this is the interest rate, when the interest rate came down, everybody start to what? Go in and buy to hedge against inflation. When the interest rate was almost like 0%, right? People always like to say what? Calvin, I want to buy property because I want to hedge against what? Inflation. So the question is, how? I'm not so sure, but anybody can see my screen, right? Because someone said they cannot see my screen. Can the rest of people see my screen? Okay, then okay, thank you so much. All right, so Raymond, maybe you have to adjust yourself. I'm not so sure what happened on your side. But if you look at this, again, this is what happened. So people actually make what? Make profit out of it during this uncertainty time, right? So most important, you have to ask yourself this question. Calculate your monthly installment. For example, today, this is 2.5% interest rate. For an interest of $165, this is 198. The increase is only how much in terms of interest? You look at 496, how much? $100. So the question is, this increase, is it a lot? But do you realize, if we focus on the small interest rate, this kind of small amount, you are actually losing opportunity to what? To make the profit like those people who have made here, right? So do you want to focus on the small numbers or do you want to focus on the big numbers? So again, depends on what you see. That's the reason why I always want you to understand one thing here is that do your numbers first. Work out your finances first. Whether is it worthwhile? For me, I'm in the business for 19 years. I've seen interest rate up and down. But if you look at the charts, every time there is a recession, there is an interest rate or whatever here and there, eventually the price still go up this way. So the question is, why? A lot of people expect the property prices will drop. I can only share with every one of you why the property prices is a bit difficult to drop. Because of our strong cooling measure. The cooling measure has actually stopped people from selling. At the end of the day, there's not enough supply. Today, I'm a property owner of a few units. If I sell away, I got to pay additional tax to buy over a new property. So the question is, why should I sell? So this is the reason why people are not selling. You see, property prices drop when people start to force sell and wanted to sell fast. But today's market is totally different. They have what? Strong holding power. So this is something that all of you must take note of. So that's the reason why you must calculate how much can I afford. For example, a $1.2 million property, right? You must always calculate you have a CPF OA for those people who are working for others, right? Averaged about 30 plus years old, right? Your ordinary account will have this amount of $1,200 over dollars from your salary, from your employment, everything will add up to a 1,260. So the question is, you need to ask yourself, can I afford to pay the monthly payment? Can I afford to pay this? Can I afford to pay this? Can I afford to pay this? So the next question is, I got to top up $200. So my question to you here is that, can I afford to pay up this $200? If I cannot afford to pay these $200, then better not. So everything is it calculated. That's the reason why I urge every one of you to talk to every of my PropNex agent, right? Because we are using this risk assessment management system, right, to work out all the numbers, even in terms of reserve funds, so that at least you know, right, how long can you last if the interest rate was this amount. All these things can be factored in. At the end of the day, work backwards and see whether are you comfortable by not just looking at this. Every crisis always got an opportunity one. Can you imagine? I mean, last year the property prices has already gone up so much. Can you imagine without cooling measure in December, without the interest rate go up, without this so-called inflation, recession possible? Wow, I cannot imagine the property price would shoot this way. By the time, is it too late for us? Then you have to think. So now with all these things in place, is it an opportunity window for you to start seeing, especially people who are first time buying, especially for people who are upgrading? My purpose is not about asking you to buy because I'm speaking here. I am a buyer outside myself that I also invest. Last year, December, I also bought another property. Why? Because I look at it as a long term. I never look at property in a short term. And I look at property as a form of what? Saving too, right? You look at this, 2018, people who bought and sold in when? That's why I say already, interest rate at this point of time was high. When the interest rate came down, people start to rush in to buy. So when interest rate goes up and the price go up, eventually people what? Sell. So to me here is very important. Now there is a window for those people who want to look at things because the prices today are a little bit more stable now. Actually, the government is very simple. They do not want to crash the property market, right? They only want to stabilize the market. So the question is, when you want to look at all this stabilization, what do? You must start to what? Observe how the numbers work. That's why, though, for those people who read books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? Robert Kiyosaki, you should know him, right? He says one thing: people should not focus on expenses, focus on setting aside money to buy. That's why, to me, even got to pay a little bit more interest if the property price is still worth pay, because at the end of the day, the interest rate, trust me, will not stay long forever, and it has been proven in different cycle of the interest rate. Everything goes up, will come down. But when it come down, it's a little bit too late for you, because why? You got eyes to see, people also got eyes to see. When people start to rush in, then you will start to rush in. That's why I always say this rule, 80-20 rule. Why? 80% of the people out there will always like to watch people make money. 20% of the people will do what? Will always buy when people dare not buy, and they will tend to be the one that makes money. That's why I always tell people, open your eyes to see things, right? Do not be the 80% follower. I can tell you 80% of people say market cannot buy one. They always watch people what? Make money. That's why I urge every one of you here. This is a golden window for you to open your eyes to see things. Of course, at the end of the day, cannot speculate, must work out your finances. But just at this window, I personally see there is an opportunity for you to see things. I just urge you to see a little bit clearer. Do not let by all these keywords, interest rate affect you, recession affect you. Of course, you must be comfortable. If not comfortable, please do not do anything else. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah. So remember, I can tell you, please do not look at this group of people. Join this group of people. That's very important, right? So you look at this, even the newspaper has said 80% of the owners make profit. Only 15% of the people out there don't make profit. Of course, people don't make profit. There's many reasons, right? Either I need to sell urgently, even people want to just move forward, or upgrade. There's so many reasons. But you see, out of the 100%, got 80% of the people make money out of it. It's considered not bad already. So now is a window. Now is the window for you to what? See. Honestly, like Karen asked, how long does the interest rate will last? I cannot tell you, probably in the next 1 to 2 years down the road. That's why you need to work out your numbers. And that's the reason why later on, I will also touch on this little aspect about interest rate. Right? At the end of my segment here, there will be another point that I would like to highlight to you here. All right, you have asked a good question. So next, to me here, right, next 6 months is a window for all of us to look at it. And you really must see this opportunity. Like during COVID time, when I was talking during the seminars, I always tell people one thing. COVID, a lot of people say no. When everybody, your friends out there say no to you, I tell you, this is the time that you must open your eyes to seeding, which is very common, right? So that's why a newspaper sometimes I can tell you there's a double-edged sword. When the market was hot, they will keep on talking about price go up, price go up. Then you make a lot of consumer what? Wow, if I don't buy today, later the price go higher and higher. But when this interest rate goes up, every day you start to see interest rate. So actually what? Newspaper is a what? Very emotion one. Very emotion. But for me, I'm a very logical person. That's why tonight when I show you everything, it's all based on what? Facts. Because why? I always believe when it comes to buying things, it must be factual, cannot be emotion. Once you fall into emotion, always decision can be wrong. Because why? We tend to what? Fall into this trap very easily. So most important is to what? Look at factual. And I tell you, today developer are very, very confused. First, there's recession. Second, there's interest rate. So there is what? A lot of confusion. A developer and the resale owner are different. No. How many, if today you are the resale owner here, right? If you today own property, right? Will you, any one of you here want to sell cheap one? Any one of you want to sell cheap? Can you type in the chat group? How many of you want to sell? Say yes one. How many say want to sell cheap one? See, everybody say no, right? Alvin, thank you so much. Kat Yong say no. Anybody say yes one? No way. My God, right? Right? Who else? Who else? Wow, thank you so much, Maggie Booty, right? Thank you. See, everybody don't want to sell. Everybody want. Why do I want to sell so cheap? But developer is a bit different because they hold multiple units. They have no choice. They have no choice, right? They also have fear. So when they have fear, this is the time that, right, we must open our eyes to what? Seeding. But I can tell you, resale owner, very tough, very tough, right? So the question is, will price come down? That's a question mark, right? So today the market is different because why? The supply is not a lot, but there is a huge demand of it. The huge demand comes from HDB upgrader. And the property price has increased a lot for HDB and private. So there's a lot of downgrader. There is also a lot of upgraders as well. There's also first timer as well. So, and the most important, there is another group of foreigners are coming in as well. So that is the reason why the demand is actually high, but the supply is low, right? So if you look at the new launch market, the supply is what? Only 14,000. So 14,000 can be a lot. You see, the high was last time was like that at 36,000. Can you imagine now is this? It's a huge drop, right? In terms of number. So why is the price so resilient in terms of the market? First, if you look at the numbers, today, this last year, 13,000. That's why last year, you see, interest rate was low, right? Everybody, go and buy, right? This is how it works. When the market is no good, people say, no, I cannot. You look at even pandemic, 9,000 units, so almost 10,000. So now we only have this 14,000 unit. So is it possible to be sold out? So in terms of the number this year we expected about 9 to 10,000 units to be selling. So the question is it possible? I would say very highly chances that it's possible, right? It's possible. So new launches got not much supply, right? Resale also difficult like this ABSD. This, honestly, this ABSD cooling measure, in my personal opinion, is not a very good one because second property owner must pay 21%, 17 plus 4. So a lot of owners out there, especially investors today, right, they don't want to sell cheap. They don't want to sell cheap because why? They don't want to sell not because of cheap. They don't want to sell because why? They cannot buy back anymore. So they rather keep the property there and let it rent out and collect the rental and let somebody pay it. And no point for them to sell the property away because they cannot buy back. So of course, some of the owners out there also decided not to sell because why? The prices are not coming down. If they sell, they cannot find another replacement unit. So again, resale units are coming down. That's why the market is so resilient. The resale market, you see, prices went up 22nd month continuously. Why? Because of all this. There is no supply for the new launch. There's no supply for the resale market. How can the property price come down? On top of that, our rental also increased. I do a check. Today, the rental for this RCCR called Central Region, for a one bedroom from 2004 now is 2008, increased about what? $400. Almost rental increased to $300 to $400. In fact, one of my unit at this 3-bedroom in Twin Peak, right? I rented out. Previously, my rental was 8,150, and I managed to rent out today just renew, just renew to a new tenant, my rental increased to $9,000, an increase of $850. Okay, so can this amount cover whatever the interest rate increase or not? So today we are so blessed, even though interest rate increase, our rental also increase. So actually for all the owners out there, why would they want to sell cheap? Because all the rental has increases by so much. You look at this, 6,001 to what? $7,000. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. Look at 7,008, went up to 8,007. So the question is, why people want to sell cheap? No, that's why it's very tough, right? You look at same thing for RCR. Rental also has increased. 5,662. Hey, can you imagine? $700 rental increase. Is it enough to rent out? Wow, Josephine, your 2-bedroom is 4.2K for a 2-bedroom. Solid there for Clementi, for West Coast area, 2-bedroom. So can you imagine now the rental? So the question is, even with the interest rate increase, right? Actually, it's not affecting resale owner as much. That's why property prices are still what? Moving, right? Those people who owns property, you will know why, because all your rental increase, right? Same thing, you look at this. OCR, even OCR 4,004 now it become 4,009. 3.8 become 4,000. Exactly. Look at all the rental has increased by so much. So the rental market actually has helped what? To actually offset. That's why it's very interesting one. Interest rate goes up, rental goes up, offset. So again, is there a big issue? No big issue, right? And next thing, our land also keep going up. So that's why a lot of people looking at how the future land price is moving, right? A lot of owners out there are also not willing to sell cheap because they cannot find replacement cost. They have to sell high. So again, people are looking at what? Difficult. The prices keep moving, right? Look at RCR from 1,001 plus. Look at today, 1.3. So why people are still willing to buy property today? Because they know one thing, if they don't buy, what will happen? The prices of the property will continue to what? Move upwards. So the only way to do so is now. This one you have to accept that, because especially for OCR, the number of supply is very low. OCR supply is low and developer are paying a premium out of it in terms of land cost to find what? To find land. You see, look at today's market. The land, the number of unsold unit is 14,000. Used to be 36,000. Now 14,000. Why the land become more expensive? Because very simple. Developer has not enough stock inside the bank, inside their land bank. So the only way to answer to shareholders, they need to buy land. So if they don't buy enough land, they do not have margin. If they don't have margin, how are they going to answer to their shareholders? So the only way to do so is what? Is to buy the land and bid for a higher price. If not, they miss the unit one. What happened? No choice. Got to get it. Wow, Lakeside 3 plus study 6,005. Oh my God. Very, very high rental, right? Look at call center region. Same thing. Can you imagine that this is the place, one of the unit that I bought, right? 1,002. You look at OCR today, RCR today, 1,003. Last time Orchard 1,002, 2016. So a lot of people expect prices to drop. Very, very difficult, I must tell you. And I can tell you it's really, really difficult based on my years of experience today. The last few years, especially, we have already witnessed even there's a drop in terms of numbers, it's not a significant amount. If you want to wait, you will end up paying more when the interest rate come down. That's why I already show you the past history. When the interest rate came down, the next thing that goes up is property prices. Every time it's like that. So you have to make a very clear decision. Next thing, construction cost is also increasing. Construction cost increase, land cost increase, interest rate increase. So can property price stay low? Very, very tough. You look at material, look at Suburban Jurong. Last year they predict this year they predict this. The cost of material has keep on going up. That's the reason why the Fed has to increase the interest rate to stop inflation, to stop the cost of going upwards. But no choice. That's why they want to slow down everything movement. Sure one. 80% of the people out there will choose not to take action one today. That's why for those people who are here today, you belong to the 20% of the people out there who are always looking out for opportunity and always looking out to learn as much as possible. And that is the critical point. So that you can what? You can see and learn certain things out of it, right? So you look at this, even the bread cost also increase. So eventually everything increase. Who pay? You look at this, bread is only increased by 10 cent or 20 cent, right? But we compare to property, it's different story, no. So eventually who pay for all the increase? You and me got to pay for the increase as well. So you have no choice, right, my friend? So that is important, right? At the end of the day, something that you're going to pay. So that's why you must what? Look at opportunities out there. So if you look at it, will property price drop? I can tell you honestly, very simple. Supply, you see, home prices and rental rate likely to keep rising amid construction cost pressure because there is not enough supply in the market. And that's the reason why home prices are moving. And because of land cost, construction cost, raw material, interest rate increase, all these are the factors, right, resulted that a lot of owners out there in the resale market are not willing to lower down. They know that the future land cost will be more expensive. That's the reason why they choose not to sell their property. And they wait for a higher price to sell before they are willing to. So, of course, there are still owners eventually sell. Why? They find another opportunity to upgrade to. So this is a golden opportunity for who? Upgraders. This is also a golden opportunity for buyers out there for you to see. That is my opinion, right? So you look at this chart. What do I really want to tell you? You look at all this up. This orange color is actually the inflation, the consumer price index. You look at the consumer price index. You look at the property price index. How the property prices go up. Eventually, look at how the property price goes up. Every time the COVID, every time, every crisis in the financial, actually the property price keep moving forward. Look at inflation. Honestly, inflation is something that you look at the numbers, you do not know how to differentiate. But you look at property, you will know exactly how much has it appreciated. How you wish you have told yourself you have bought last time in 2020. How you wish. Look at today. Last time 2022, 2020 quarter 2, right, was 1725. Today is 2142. Every time you look back, you only tell yourself one thing. That's why I say 80% always look at the people out behind you make money. Right? This is the people who bought cheap. These are the people who bought cheap, right? Eventually, did they make profit? They make. That's why I want to share with you one thing here. I really want to share with you one thing. Every of the different crises did not stop the prices from coming down. In fact, look at the numbers, it keep moving upwards. So this is something for you to see. So that's why I see this crisis that you see as a crisis actually is a window for every one of us here. So if I have more opportunities out there, right, I would definitely want to go in and look for something, man, because I want to hedge to do something things, right? So the question is, of course, next, should we buy new sales and resale one? How many of you are struggling to answer this thing? Should I buy new? Should I buy resale? Can I ask every one of you here, right? How many of you are facing this kind of situation now, right? Are you buy new better or buy resale better? Please tell me. Please tell me. Well, I guess a lot of people are facing this kind of situation, right? Some people say new, some people say resale, somebody say do not know. I tell you, this is a very, very common thing that people are now what? Facing, man. So you look at the resale medium price. Now, I will tell you, resale has also gone up. And now resale is not low. Resale has been moving upwards. And in fact, resale has gone up to a peak. Why do I say so? Look at this. So the question is, how do we select the right resale property? I'm going to share with you. I'm not saying that resale property cannot buy. You still can buy, but just that you need to buy with a logic in your mind that what is my purpose of buying? If you are buying a resale property because for your own stay and not talking about making profit out of it much, then it's okay. Please go and buy. Because at the end of the day, you should upgrade to what you deserve, right? If you want to look at profit margin, then you may want to see a different thing, right? So look at it. Look at this resale. Resale market today, look at this. It also has gone up to the peak of here. Resale now is not lower, it has gone up to there, right? So the question is, should I sell or not? Of course, Berlin, you ask a very important question. If you ask me, right, if you can buy something that is worthwhile for you to swap, you should sell. I always tell people, please do not sell your property unless you have a reason to sell. If not, please keep your property. That is always my philosophy. When I sell my property because I'm looking to buy immediately one. If I sell and I don't buy, please don't sell. That is my logic to you. Because now your property prices has also what? Reaches its peak. J Gateway, you look at it, it has gone up to the peak already. The last was 1.8 something, now it's 1.7, almost coming to 1,008 per square foot. So the question is, it has gone into its almost peak price of last time. So the question is, should I be selling? Then that's where you start to think. That means as a resale buyer now, right? As a resale buyer, for example, Costa del Sol, let's say today you buy at 1,005 per square foot. All of you today buy at 1,005. Can I ask every one of you here, right? If you buy at 1,005 per square foot now, right? How much do you intend to sell in the future in the next 5 years or 8 years or 5 years to 10 years out? How much do you want to sell next time? Can you type inside the chat group how much you want to sell? 1,008, 1,008. 1,007, wow, so low. 1,009, 1,008, 1,009, $2,000. So everybody want to sell high, right? Everybody want to sell at 1,008 per square foot, right? 1,008 per square foot, right? So if you want to sell at 1,008, so now we need to check one thing. This development got 900 units. And most of the owner that time bought $400, $500, $600 per square foot. That means they bought at $600 per square foot. For you to sell at 1,008, provided all owners in the resale market sell at 1,008. If this person who bought at 1,006 choose to still sell at 1,005 per square foot, then your question is, how are you going to sell at 1,008 per square foot? Now, this price is almost the peak of compared to many years back. So if you want to buy a resale unit, not that you cannot buy, you still can buy. As long as you buy for own stay, you don't want to look at long term, you don't want to see margin or whatever, you just take it as you buy for own stay, then you should just go ahead. Will it go up in the future to 1,008 per square foot? I say yes, but you will not be so fast one. Why? Because a lot of owners out there, they bought cheap, they don't need to sell at 1,008, they can actually make profit. To sell at 1,008, provided every one of the resale owner in Bayshore Park in the Costa del Sol are willing to sell at 1,008. If all the owners, existing owners, all do not want to sell at 1,008, all want to sell at 1,005, right? What will happen to you? You will be stuck at that point of time, right? At this. So this is the problem that you will foresee, right? The numbers. So can you imagine, right? How are you going to sell in the long run? Not that you cannot. It's just that your chances of making profit may be slower. What we want here is that can we make profit faster? That's what I am looking at. So the question is how to do it, right? So if you ask me resale unit, if you want to buy, get your agent to show you today prices that you are buying. Is it already higher in terms of the market? Is there something for you to see lower? Of course, like I mentioned, if no choice, if you are buying something that you like, please go ahead. Right? I can only tell you this. You expect the owners to drop price. I also tell you it's very difficult. If you can find within a development that is one cheaper one, right? Please go ahead and buy. Because why? It's not easy to find cheap unit today. Because why? Most people don't want to sell cheap today. That's the problem, right? Developer is different. They have multiple units. They don't have one unit to sell. They have many units to sell. That's why they will have what? Concern and fear. And that is the reason why there's an opportunity out there for you. So question is, a lot of people ask me also this question. Hey, no, Kelvin, new launch prices are much higher than resale. Is it safe to buy new launch? Will you go higher or not? What if it doesn't, right? Like, for example, this development, Seaside Residences. During the time they launched, their break even is 1,004 plus per square foot at that point of time. So a lot of, I tell you, right? I tell you, I want to ask every one of you here. If at that point of time, you know that this development is 1,004 plus per square foot, there is freehold going at 1,004. Which one will you buy? You won't buy 99 of freehold, and this development seaside is here. So which one will you buy? Given a choice, which one will you buy? Freehold or the seaside one? Can you just type inside the chat group? Or freehold, right? Everybody will buy freehold. So what is the problem? Good, thank you so much, every one of you, for participating with me, right? You look at the numbers, you see, freehold, 1,004, eventually 1,005. 1,005. This guy, 1,004, went up to 2,1. Why? So can you imagine that the time you choose to buy the 1,004 today, you were stuck there 1,005 plus, right? Did you make enough profit margin? You look at Seaside was launched during when? 1,004. To be honest, at that point of time, 1,004 plus in this development is considered expensive within this area. It's considered expensive. But you look at it, prices still went up today. Look at May 2022, transacted at 2,003 for a 560 square feet unit sold at $1.3 million. Why people still choose to buy at 2,003 where they can get freehold at 1,005 per square foot? That is the question you need to ask already. So I answer your question. 1,004, even though you buy higher, eventually the prices can still go higher. And this is not just one development that I'm talking about. There are many developments that actually show this, and people cannot accept. But I have to tell you, the buyer behavior has changed. Everybody today wants to have something new. It's not going to be saying that I want O1, I'm willing to pay less. No, but of course, like I mentioned, there's always something called needs. Something that you need, then whatever that you want, you can go ahead. So I want to tell you here is that buying new launch at a higher price doesn't mean that you don't make money. Eventually you will still, because people like to buy new, right? Look at this seaside owner. They make the kind of profit margin. Compare, you buy freehold property that went up $100. These people who bought at 1,005, they sold at 1,009, they make that kind of profit margin. Can you imagine? That's why it's important. That's why I want to tell all of you here. Not that you cannot buy resale, you can buy. Not that you, I mean, to me here is that I myself buy new launches. Why? Because I want to see more profit margin. I want to be the first owner out there to make the profit margin, rather than I pay somebody profit in the sense like this, 600,000 profit and buy a resale. Whether I can still sell in the long run to sell more than 2,000 over dollars, I do not know, right? But if I buy something lower, I think its chances is better. That's why I want to share with everybody one thing here is that it depends on all of you, your objective when it comes to buying property. If you are looking for own stay and just looking at stay and you don't want to look at profit margin much, then please go for own stay and just buy resale. But if you are looking to make capital out of it, I always tell people one thing. If today you have a choice, build capital. Like those things that I show you here. Honestly, ask everyone a question. 2017 until 2022, almost coming to 5 years. Is it easy to save $500,000 in your bank account? By working hard for your employer, do you think you can save the kind of money? That's the reason why you need to really learn how to take advantage of the situation, right? To let property help you to make profit. So that's the reason why I want to share with you, why must you build capital? Because when you build capital, right, that's where people who downgrade can buy a HDB for $1 million. Why? Because very simple, they want the size, they want the unit. So when they have more capital, when they go for a bigger unit next time, when they have saved enough money, $5 million, for example, they sell to $1 million, downgrade to $1 million, they still have $3-4 million to what? To retire. So that's why you need to have what? Capital. That's why do not just work for long hours. Don't be a rat race anymore. You must learn how to what? Take advantage of situation. Right? This is what I always feel. That's why I want to share with you here, everyone. Of course, I cannot tell you, Kelvin, I cannot tell everybody one thing. You sure buy property, sure make money. But I want to tell you, making profit margin is always a bonus to all of us here. But you can see just now, I share with you here, 80% of the people make money through property. To me, property is not just about making money. Property helped me to save money. So today, any one of you who started off, even if you buy a property at $1 million, $1 million here, At the age of 40, you still must sell even though you don't have profit. You must upgrade to a 2 million. Even 45 years old, you don't make profit, you still must upgrade to a $3 million. Even at the age of 50, $5 million, never make profit, you still must sell and go and upgrade to a 5 million. Why? So that when you reach 65, because at the end of the day, you take a loan up to 65, right? You are fully paid. Can you imagine this fully paid 5 million? That's where this person bought a 1 million HDB. Why? So that he has 4 million to retire. But can you imagine today, if you only have $1.5 million property at the age of 60, today what can you buy? You cannot even downgrade, you can only work, provided you have enough saving. But if you don't have enough saving, you have to work hard. But at the age of 60 plus, we do not want to stress ourselves anymore. So the question is, you must build what? Build your capital. You must really build capital. Because why? If you don't build capital, then your money is stuck. You need to roll and roll and roll. That's why I always look at property. It's not just about what? Making profit. You must force yourself to keep upgrading. Do you realize that every time you upgrade, you now pay more money? You actually save more money. And that is the exact objective for you to move forward. But of course, is it easy? Everybody say, Kelvin, it's so easy. Of course, it's never easy one. But if you never start, right? Forever, you will never be easy one. I also very simple, right? Like this person here, this couple, also started with only 1,650 at 580K in Mayer Road. Wow, I tell you, this one will worth a lot of money today, right? But eventually, you see, does he move forward? Same thing. This is how people make profit margin along the way. You need to do this. If not, forever you're stuck with one, right? Cannot. You need to move forward. And I tell all the upgraders today, there is a window for all of you now. You must seize opportunity one, right? Right. Just before I continue further, right? Just a bit introduction about myself. I'm in the business for 19 years. I really have seen all the property cycles up and down. Right? I also do a lot of seminars. I do a lot of research because for me here, right, I'm a super logical person because I always believe in what? Facts. That's why I do a lot of, my passion is really in real estate because I love properties a lot. I myself also start from HDB. Honestly, I tell you this property that I bought, right? I don't even have $5,000 last time to pay for a COV. Today, people pay 50,000 COV. I also don't know how they buy. I'm very lucky. My wife and me, my wife is willing to stay with me through this HDB, but this HDB transformed my life because this HDB let me realize that I become a property agent. And because I become a property agent, I learned from many gurus out there, a lot of investors out there. I learned from all these people. So when I learn from all these people, today I'm able to do what? To do all these things. That's why I can share with you. Today, these are some of my properties that I still own and I'm holding on to it because really no point selling one, right? And all these are things that I hold on to it. No, my purpose of sharing all this not because I want to show you, wow, I got so many property. No, I just want to share with all of you here. I started with a HDB just like many of you here. So can it be possible to be done? Can, but you must continue to what? Move forward, go up forward and go forward. If your income become better and better, you must what? Keep moving forward. And that's how I see all the gurus out there, all the investors out there, all the owners out there, they make money through what? Properties, right? That is the only way. This is one of the property I haven't even sell, right? I bought this at Martin Place. I bought at how much per square foot? 2,050 per square foot only. And today is already 2,007. My unit is 1,000 square feet. I easily sit on a profit margin of 700,000 over here. Why? That's why I always believe in taking advantage from the new launch market. That is how I always look at it. So if you have an option, right, take a look at this. That's why I'm also featured in the Straits Times, not this article. I have so many different articles to talk about it. But this is article that one of these people who actually attended my training last time. And they basically find that my training has a lot of tips. How do I really share with people how to go about buying property, when to buy, how to look at market. That's why those people who bought during COVID time, today they're all sitting on very good profit. That's why I'm so happy for them, right? So I always believe one thing, three things that I must look at: timing, financing, strategies. So I've shared with you timing. I look at it today is a good time. Financing wise, I also shared a little bit, but I think my agents can go into detail to share with you further how to look at this. Strategies is something that I want to share with you. If today you have a chance, how do I look at a property, whether worth to buy or not? How do I look at numbers? I look at this. So is there an opportunity and how do I identify? So today, whatever I share with you here, right, is based on this development, but you can use this to help you to what? Ask if this development is not something that you want to buy. You can use this kind of understanding, right, to look at this in the future development that you want to buy. So for case study wise, how do I determine whether this Amor Residences is Amor Residence, is it worth to buy? This is something at is one of the latest launches, Amokyo. Of course, the question is it worth to buy? How to look at the pricing? I'm going to share with you in detail. So every time when I buy properties, right, I always look at 5 very important things. First, supply, demand. Is there a lot of supply over there? Next, is there MRT? Third, good school, popular must be done. Why is it first mover very important? I look at the development in that area. What are the future development? And how do I look at the potential based on the pricing? All these 5 things helps me to determine whether should I buy the property or not, right? Looks at this. Like I mentioned, supply demand. When there is no supply, there's a strong demand over there, property prices will increase. You look at the whole Amokyo, right? Amokyo is considered 8th, the biggest population in Singapore, 60,000. And 50,000 live in HDB, 4,000 only live in condo. That is the number. And that's important for you to know. In total Amokyo areas, only 2,200 over units are the condo unit over here, this area, right? So there is a huge amount of homeowners in Amokyo, but there is not enough supply in Amokyo for condo. So is there an opportunity for you? And many of them are old, and this is a brand new development, and it's so near to what? MRT. And look at this. Here got BTO some more, the future. You know now the day the HDB is also not cheap, right? Plus you look at some of the HDB already selling at $1 million one, for 800, 1 million. So what does it mean to you? That means these people has the affordability to what? To upgrade to a private condo. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to buy a private property, next time you hope to sell to somebody. So when you hope to sell to somebody, you must also look at whether that area has a potential, whether there's a population inside or not. If that area don't have enough population, definitely they may not come and buy ma. So this is the reason here, right? So this is something that you need to take note. And Amokyo is a very matured estate where a lot of homeowners are staying there, means there's a good opportunity for you. And many young couples are also staying there too. Of course, very important, 5 minutes to MRT station. And that is the most easy. I mean, all owners out there, their children out there, they want easy transportation, everything, right? This is just 5 minutes to the MRT station. And that is something what? Useful for them. Because to me, got MRT, got good school, right? And a good population for them to upgrade. These are very important opportunity. And look at the MRT station. This is Thomson East Coast Line, and one of the best line, I must say, because it straight away go to Orchard area, it goes to different parts as well. Of course, those people will understand about MRT will be good. And there is also a cross island line as well, and that is going to happen in 2029. By the time your property ready, everything is going to be ready, and that will be something that's very useful. Because why? Connectivity is one of the key point when it comes to buy property. First, your tenant will like it, homeowners will like it. So this development has a lot of very good points that you can actually look at it. Like look at Catacomb, also Circle Line. Actually, this is all very well connected at all, right? Look at this Stephen area. Wow. Look at the MRT track, just based on this Mayflower, it connected everywhere. So it's a very convenient for who? Potential tenant, homeowners, very easy for you, right? So this is something that you should be looking at, right? To future, go to other different lines. Actually, it's very accessible. And because of that, look at these central residences. This is TOP in 2014. Today, their 2-bedroom still can rent out at 3,700, 3-bedroom 4,000. Some of them rent out at 4,500. Also, still today are very strong rental. Look at Panorama. This is just beside this development. The 2-bedroom already going at $3,000 over dollars, but TOP in 2017. Right, 4-bedroom, 4,000, 3,008. So these are the rental that are existing. So by the time that your property is new, the rental may be even higher, right? I just based on what today's market here. And most important, right, is based on very good school. 1 km, you know, all parents like, I tell you, nowadays the parents, the number one thing that is important is school. And it's 1 kilometer to Ai Tong, Ang Mo Kio, CHIJ, Nicholas. This is again another very, very important. Can you imagine you got MRT station, 5 minute walk, you got all the amenities ready, you got all the good school that is all going to be there, and there's a huge population supply. You know, all those people who stay in Ang Mo Kio, when they are young parents out there, when their children grow up, they want to what? Near to this condo so that they can go to this school, right? So this demand is always what? Very, very high. Very important. That's why you must be the first mover to look at this. Why do I say so? Amo, just look at this development. Total, there's total. This you see is such a hot development because why? Because in Ang Mo Kio, right, there is not enough land to have all these kind of new condos. Don't have enough. You should really go and understand from all our agents here. Look at all the development that's facing. Basically, it's a lot of unblocked units as well. And the most important, why a lot of developers are so hungry for this piece of land? Because this is one of the first plot that is coming in this District 20 area, and that's important. And you look at it, Lentor will have all this development coming out, and Ang Mo Kio is just there. Can you imagine the price of that other development that is going to be launched here, right? Will it be higher? And now you are the first mover to be here. And Ang Mo Kio is supposed to be more matured estate compared to Lentor area. So can you imagine? Will this be a very good choice for many people? I mean, I look at all this research to tell you whether yes or no, right? Now, this is something that I want to ask all of you here. In 2014, January to June, look at Panorama. This is a new development at that point of time was launching. As I mentioned that time, this project, right? This is also at Mayflower MRT. Mayflower MRT. You look at this development, 1289 per square foot. This was launched is 1289, that range. You look at this development, Flora View, 1292. 997. You look at what happened today. Panorama eventually go up to 1006 average. But look at this freehold, 1292. Now it's 1268. So why is it so important for you to know this? Doesn't mean that buy new at a higher price don't make money. It is not true. You look at the rest, 15, 15, 11 for Grandeur 8, now 997 just went up a bit. Look at this. It does not improve a lot increase, but you realize Panorama has gone up a lot. Why? Because of school. You see, look at this. Panorama 1127 low. Now today highest 18. It has gone up so much. So can you imagine? Doesn't mean that when you buy higher, it doesn't went up. It also go up, right? And you look at this development, another one, Queens. Queens, for those people who know Commonwealth area, Queens at that point of time was 12. Commonwealth Tower was trying to launch at 16 average, but eventually it went up to 19. You look at this Sterling, 17. Today Sterling is 21. So does it mean that it will not go up? You look at the chart, it will. So I want all of you to know one thing. Doesn't mean that today you pay a higher price. Does not mean that, oh, now this new launch is more expensive compared to surrounding. This is what I'm trying to tell you here. Even those that is around the surrounding may be lower, but you must remember their age is older. And that's why their prices are not moving as fast compared to the newer one. So if you want to buy something, I have shown you quite a fair example that even you buy high, you still make more, just like the seaside residences. Just like this Panorama, the answer is still the same. People are willing to pay for it. Look at this, Sterling, they paid at 1,006. They eventually sold at how much? 16, they eventually sold at 2019 per square foot. Look at this, Commonwealth Tower, 1519. So did they actually go up? Also has went down, right? So what is the potential? If you look at this development, now we understand all this, we must look at the potential, whether it goes up. Resale property, District 20, because Ang Mo Kio, this development is under District 20. The resale already has done 1,008 to 1,006, 1,007 already. And highest has gone up to $2,000 as well. This development, the start-off price was 1,008. Even if you ask me, even to pay $2,000 per square foot for Amo Resi, I still find that it's logical because the resale market has already surpassed $2,000. And the existing older property, 2016, for example, Skyview, already has transacted at 2,000 and the last time average is 1,008. So for a brand new development that is near to MRT station in a matured estate, even if you ask me at $2,000 per square foot, I don't think that is a high. And furthermore, the rental market is also going to come out and will be sell at a higher prices. That actually will be what? That's why I say first mover is very important. You are the first mover in this Ang Mo Kio sector area, including Landor. You are the first to go. The future condo that's going to happen in Landor, going to be sell higher, eventually will benefit who? These people at Ang Mo residents. So that's why you need to see this. Look at Skyview. Their purchase price average 1.2. Today they went up to 1.9. Did they make profit? Yes. That's why I say they buy from new launch, they also make. Look at this price. They bought at what? 1,940. They sold at 1,009 recently. 1,009, 2,000. So is it something that is not acceptable for 2013 property? Yes, right? And they easily make a very, very good profit as well. So does it mean that you don't? You make. You see, bought at 1,317. So it is done in the sense. Look at Panorama. Same thing, 1,26517. Has it gone up? Yes. So can you imagine today you want to buy Panorama? You are going to pay 1,007 plus per square foot for a resale property. Then why are you not buying a brand new development at $2,000 or even at 1,009 per square foot, $2,000? Isn't it something that is worthwhile? Because you see, those people who bought here eventually still move to this. That's for you to see. Look at this Panorama. Right? This is what has been done, transaction, right? Has been done, right? It's not that it's not been done. So what does it tell you here? That means it tells you that, right, in the resale market in this area, the support baseline is at $1,008 per square foot, support baseline. So if today a brand new development that is so much newer, do you think that it has a long run for you? That's for you to see. That's why you can see people make, you see Panorama, how much profit they make. Wow, 800 over 1,000, 700 over 1,000, 600,000, 500,000. So can you imagine next time it will be your turn if you are looking at Ang Mo residents, right? That is something for you to see. Existing new launches also have done $2,000 for Pasir Ris 8, Sengkang Grand, Park Clementes also have done 2,000, 1,007. And that's why the development today, right? Actually, if you ask me, they actually did not price at a higher price today to sell. Why? Because of the cooling measure, interest rate, recession. That's why this developer, UOL, and it's a good developer, and not say lousy developer, it's a good developer, and their price, they are not selling at a premium. They are selling what the market has been selling 3 years ago. So is it something that you should be looking into? That's for you to see. And today, people already accepted to pay $2,000 for even Park Clementes, for even Florence, Hougang area has been done. That's why you see, even for this Florence residences, 2,000 for 600 over square feet. It is something that is acceptable. It's not something that is not acceptable in the market. That's why I say this developer did not price it high. Very not high. Why? That's why I say the window of opportunity is for you to what? To see, right? That's why you see, today the resale market, today the new launch market, from 600 in the year of $22,000 until today, OCR already had hit 1,812. So this developer really did not price high because of the market and because of the window. So if you have an opportunity, go and have a look. Understand a little bit more. To me, this price tag, they are pricing it at a very attractive way because of current. That's why I say resale owner will not sell you cheap. Developer got more units, they are worried that they can't sell. So that's why they open the window for all of you to go and see, right? You must seize opportunity. Now, those people who are concerned about, wow, interest rate one, I want to solve your problem. You look at how people make money in 3-4 years, just now I show you, right? New launch, the advantage is what? Progressive payment. That means your installment is very low. Your interest that you're paying is very low. As for resale, it's different. You need to pay a lump sum. You take a 75% loan, interest is based on 75. Straight away, you need to pay a higher interest. Second, new launch, no property tax. This one must pay. This one, no maintenance fees. This one must pay. You save all, that means that you save a lot more money in here. This one, you will pay more at a higher price. So is it safe or not? I do not know. You decide, right? I do a math for you to see. For a resale property, if you look at the interest rate, because you took I take a calculation of $1.5 million, your monthly is this amount, right? So basically, based on $1.5 million, your interest alone is 2008. I take a 3 years average, you have to pay an interest of 100,000. Haven't include property tax, maintenance fees or whatever, I don't want to calculate. But for new launch is different. Because why? Based on 1.5 million, estimated the calculation, add up the interest, is about 20,000. Why? Because it's progressive. It's not a lump sum. So can you imagine, for example, 1.5 million, this property, 1.5 million. This guy just need to sell at 1.53 million. Actually, they never lose money. This guy must sell at $1.6 million in order to make money. So which one is more suitable for you? So those people are concerned about interest rate. I tell you, by the time 3 years, interest rate will definitely fall already. Because why? Interest cannot go up all the way until 3 years plus, 4 years still going up. No, cannot be one, right? So at least you know one thing, right? This is to solve your immediate concern. You see a lot of development, 3-4 years then TOP. So that means that you don't even pay a lot of interest. So can you afford to pay? Look at this installment. Can you afford to pay? If you cannot, then please don't do anything, right? So in summary, resale in the transaction area for District 20 already have done 1,008 to 2,000. New launch in the OCR for 99 years also had done this price today, and also the upcoming Lentor area easily going to sell 2,001, 2,002 and above per square foot. And this development is going from 1,008 and above. I want to tell you, even at $2,000 to even 2,001, I think it's still a fair deal. Because why? The current new launches already hit 2,000. And the upcoming launches already hit more than $2,000. This development is still a worth bet because more and more prices are coming out. So personally, I see an advantage for you to look at this. And that's the reason why there's 5 reasons for you to see. First, Ang Mo Kio really is a matured estate, no competition, no supply, nobody to fight for you for rental. And this is very suitable for own stay investment because of the good school are always there. And plus MRT, plus the first mover, I can say that this development, after I do all the necessary research, I find that it is justified for you. But of course, in the other development that you want to look, get your agents to work out all these things for you to what? To have a look at it to see whether worthwhile to buy or not. Of course, I leave it to you to make a final decision. All right. Of course, thank you so much for those people who are watching me in terms of understanding how I look at property today, how I look at interest rate. Today, I also have another partner of me, which is Elaine. Elaine actually wanted to show you something here, which is very exciting. They want to bring you directly to the where? To the Amo residence. Even though you are staying at home, she's able to what? Show you live over there. All right. So without much further ado, Elaine, where are you? Hi, Elaine. Just give us a while we're doing the setup for you to see.
Is the camera on?
No, it's not on. Your camera is not on. On your camera, please.
If you can hear me loud and clear, can you please give me a 1 in the chat group?
We cannot hear you very clearly. If, Elaine, your mic is very soft. You need to put the mic near to you.
Oh, the mic is very soft. All right.
Yeah, you put the mic nearer to you.
Okay. Okay. Is it okay right now?
Still very far away.
Mic test. Can you hear me loud and clear now?
Slightly better. Can be louder a bit will be good. You need to speed up.
Okay.
Put closer to your mouth. Better.
Today, one of the project I see from our residents. If you can hear me, please type me the 1 in the chat group. I'll continue the presentation. Is everything okay? All right. Yeah.
Some yes, some no.
Today, I'm actually here at the actual Amo residential flat. Let us take a look at the actual site, at the floor plan area over here, the location map.
Echo mic.
All right, just continue, please. Ignore all the noise. Just continue.
Okay, right.
Oh.
Okay, I'll continue from here. I'll take on from here. Now, take a look at this location map. Amo residence is actually located in Ang Mo Kio, and we know that Ang Mo Kio is actually a mature estate. That is why we are able to see so many amenities over here surrounding Amour residence. Now over here, I would like to highlight three very important things. Number one, look at this. We are actually surrounded by a lot of water, which is the Lower Pierce Reservoir water catchment area, and a lot of greenery. And one of it is actually the Ang Mo Kio Bishan Park. And Amour residence is just a stone throw away to this Ang Mo Kio Bishan Park. Number two, if you look at this, right, we are actually just 5 minutes walking distance to Mayflower MRT station, which is the Thomson East Coast Line. And number three, within Amour residence, we are actually within 1 kilometer to 3 good schools, and of which there is actually 2 very renowned schools, which is Aitong Primary School and CHIJ St. Business. All right, let me show you the actual model, the very beautiful model in this show plan. Amour residence, there is a total of 372 units. And over here, you can see that it is actually tilted to a little bit so that you can actually have a very nice north-south orientation. Towards the north-facing right, it is where you can see the very beautiful unblocked leather enclave. Now, let us take a look at over here at the grand entrance here. This is Ang Mo Kio Rise, and this is going to be along Ang Mo Kio Avenue Run, which is a new road exclusively just for Amour residents. And over here, we can see that once you arrive at the drop-off area, you'll be greeted by this very nice waterfall. And over here, level 1, you can see that there's actually a gym, social space, and function room. One thing again I want to highlight is that in this development, there is a total of 7 swimming pools. Firstly, we have the 15-meter lap pool in between the two twin towers. And then we also have the aqua therapy pool, recreational pool, and more surrounding the whole development. Let us take a look at the other side of the development. Now over here, we can see that the tennis court is nicely tucked to one side. And this is the area that I really like best. Over this side is actually towards the north facing, and we have a very spacious grand lawn area. This is the kids play area. We have 2 more function rooms, the grill pavilion, the gourmet pavilion. And this is where really your families can enjoy a lot of families activities within this area. At the end of this 50 meters lap pool, you also have cabanas for you to rest, relax, and chill. All right, now let's take a look at the show unit. Shall we? Let's go over there. In our residential lab, right, we actually have got 3 different show unit types. And in the total development, we actually have got 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom premium, 5 bedroom premium, and there's actually 3 units of penthouses. Now, right now, we are going to proceed towards the 2 bedroom premium. 2 bedroom premium is actually a size of 743 square feet. Let's take a look. Okay, over here. This is the floor plan of the 2 bedroom premium, 743 square feet. Let's take a look inside. As we enter into the 2 bedroom unit, right, we can see that the kitchen is actually nicely tucked to one side, enclosable kitchen. Proceeding into the living and dining area, this is where I feel that the layout is very efficient, and we have a very spacious living room area and a dining area that you can actually easily put a 6-seater dining set over here. And this is actually a dumbbell layout where you can see that the master bedroom is on one side and the common bedroom is on the other side. This is where we see the master bedroom and the master bathroom fully furnished and equipped with all the sanitary wares and very nice things. The other side of the unit, right, is where we have our common bedroom. Let's take a look over here. This is the area that I really want to introduce to you. Because why? You can see that there's actually additional space in this layout. This space you can actually really dress up to be a study area, a little cozy area for yourself, or even to really enclose over here, it's like a little and another ensuite bedroom, and make this into a very beautiful wardrobe. This is how it looks like for the second bedroom. And as you can know that UL is a very reputable developer, and all the fittings and furnishing, they are all of a very good brand and quality. And from here, coming back to the dining area, we can see that there is actually a glass panel for the kitchen, Okay, this is actually very good for all the light ventilation. So your kitchen will be very brightly lit up. And again, for the kitchen, appliances, finishing, they are all fully equipped. Okay, now this is for the 2-bedroom premium. Now, I would like to show you one of the layout that I really like, which is the 3-bedroom premium plus study. Let's take a look over here. This 3-bedroom premium plus study is a size of 1141 square feet. And over this layout, right, it is actually the only one 3-bedroom stack that is facing towards the north, facing towards the unblocked landed enclave. So you're going to wake up to very beautiful, very nice view. Let's take a look inside. This is 1141 square feet. Coming in, you have a little foyer area where you enjoy total privacy. Moving in, this is where we have our enclosable kitchen. And you can see appliances that they provide for this premium unit is like, for example, brands from DD3, your cooker, hood and hob. It comes with a dryer, as well as a washer, and also the fridge. So appliances, again, are all fully furnished and equipped. All right, let's take a look at the living and dining area. As I mentioned, right, this is really one of the layout that I really like best. Now, why is that so? Remember, this is a 3+ study. So later I'm going to show you the bedrooms orientation and the study area. Over here at the living and dining, again, it is properly separated so that you can really have a very spacious living area where you can really enjoy, watch your Netflix, enjoy family time together at this living area. Over there is actually the balcony, and we also have our dining. Again, it is so spacious that you can really put a 6 to 8-seater over here at the dining area. So next, I'm going to show you, as we proceed into the walkway, you will see that there is actually 2 common bedrooms on your left, and at the end of it will be our master bedroom. This common bedroom is actually almost a 9 square meter where you can fit super single and also a customized study table. And the other common room is also the same size. Very nicely interior design that you can visualize how you can actually want to dress up your next new home. So this is the 2 common bedrooms. And then this unit comes with a study. Take a look at the study room. A very spacious room that you can actually make it into your 4-bedroom for this layout. Coming into the master bedroom, this is where you have spacious room, good enough, good size room that you can fit a king-size bed. And also, if you look at this bedroom, right, you actually have another window located at the other side. This is because UOL wants the owners to enjoy very nice view from different areas of the house. And this is again, of course, the very nicely fitted master bathroom. All right. And we also have this common bathroom over here. And this layout comes with a home shelter that you can actually use it as a storage as well. We have come to the end of the show flat tour. We would love to show you more, but because of the time constraint, we are only able to show you the 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom unit for today.
All right, thank you, Elaine, for showing us the beautiful model and the beautiful show unit today. Now, I just want to remind everyone, our VVIP preview has been started from last Saturday. Yeah, all the way will be next Tuesday, between 19th. So please pick up your phone now and call any of our Propedex agent. Please call them. I believe that they haven't slept now. Trust me, call them to make arrangement to book a viewing apartment for you. Because Amour Residence is not just because of the conveniences, it's not just because of the school, but also because of the luxury and comfort living in Ang Mo Kio.
Definitely.
Amour Residence is all about family and love. So that's it for tonight. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight as well. So we're looking forward to see you soon. Good night.
Contact us. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you all so much for staying with us this evening. Look out for more events and property workshops at propnex.com or at our Facebook page at PropNex Singapore. From all of us at PropNex, have a pleasant evening ahead. Bye.